Um, my voice will be not so good today. If you cannot hear me very well, please tell me. I'm a little bit sick.
Okay.
How about you, Kirana? How are you doing today?
Uh, I'm feeling okay.
Okay. Are you sure? You do sound a little bit tired.
Hmm?
You do sound a little bit tired though.
I woke up. Because I just woke up.
Oh, okay, right. I guess that makes the two of us. Yeah, I also just wake up. Okay, but hopefully after a while you will feel fresh. Okay, Kirana, uh, please update me on math. When you're ready, you can give me updates. Yeah, I'll ask for Aiden first. Aiden, can you hear us? Uh, Aiden, you're muted. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay, Aiden. Okay, a bit soft. Let me see. Okay, right. Okay, test again. Aiden, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes.
Okay, yours are a little bit soft for me. I'm gonna make it big. Okay, if I have trouble hearing you, I'll tell you later, okay? Chapter 3 in E-Math. Okay, understand, Kirana. Okay. Oh, okay. Aiden, updates, please.
Okay. For physics, my teacher is in static electricity. For chemistry, my teacher has completed the reactivity series
Okay.
about the metals thing. But that one I very unclear of, okay. But then Emacs, my teacher is at probability. Amax, my teacher is at exponential differentiation.
Export, which, yeah lah. Last week we already tried to practice some, right? Okay, good. Um, okay, so I take it that your differentiation and exponential are okay.
So far they're all right, my team, but I keep forgetting how to do the what the trigonometry one and exponential one. Bit. Should be
You
all.
mean the differentiation, is it?
Yeah, sometimes I forget a bit or maybe a bit blur, but it's all right.
Mm-mm. Good news and bad news that those are the ones that comes out in exam lah. It's just like that lah, yeah. But that means we have a lot of questions to practice on lah. Because if you go to prelim questions, you'll see a lot of trigo and exponential questions. Of course, you'll be blurred because their rules are so different lah. Don't know how to say lah. They feel different lah. And so practice, I guess, will help a lot here. Now, do you have homeworks on A-math to ask?
I have no homework for Emacs to ask.
Mhm.
Think
So
that they
your
give
A-math
me-
and E-math is rather stable lah. Is that what you're saying? Rather lah, I guess.
Emacs is more stable than Emacs apparently right now.
Which usually we take it as a good sign, even though you are neglecting your E-math lah. I mean, that's the reason why, right? Even though you're neglecting your E-math, it's like you're getting a lot of results for your A-math lor.
Yeah, but the
Uh,
only part that I'm blur about in Emacs is
mhm.
possibly the rate of change thing.
Which again, at this point, practice will help a lot lah. Really, there's no other way. There's no other way. You will, if you practice for a while, maybe 4 or 5 questions, you reach a point where suddenly you see the pattern, I suppose, like, yeah, right?
Yeah, but yes, are you able to like make a list of the formulas that I can use to differentiate for the dy dx part of the rate of change?
Let me confirm what you mean. What you mean is something like this, huh? First, Pythagoras. Expect that to happen, lah,
Yeah.
right? Secondly, mensuration, which means all the volume and surface area formula.
Yeah,
That's
volume
just
surface area.
right. So all the E-math formula basically lah, right? So Pythagoras E-math. But I never saw any trigo, for example. I never saw any trigo for collateral change. It's very weird that they don't do that, right? It would be very easy for them to do that, and yet they don't do that lah. So that's to complete the list law, Pythagoras to be expected. Mensuration is really what they really like, but trigonometry doesn't seem to be what they like. Other than that, there isn't much. Or rather, those are the hardest ones though that we have to consider. So exponential also almost never happen lah, if that's what you're concerned with lah.
I'm
You know,
concerned mainly about the mensuration because I don't know what sort of shapes can they ask, like what funny shape they ask.
Now this is either good news or bad news, yeah. They will not ask beyond E-math. So if your E-math is strong, maybe not right now for mensuration, then you are fully covered for E-math, fully. I've never seen something that cannot solve by E-math. It will just be like that. That's the limit that they themselves respect. So if that's your problem, Aiden, the solution is also quite simple. You actually go to the mensuration of E-math and let me see how you do for a while. Let me see that, if that makes sense to you.
Not the issue. The mensuration of the shapes of the things aren't the issue. At the front of the E-math paper, they'll give the formulas at the front, but they don't give the formulas that I need. For example, they don't give like a sphere, they don't give like a cone, a cylinder.
You don't, yeah, well, I mean, that means you have to memorize the E-math one, if that's your problem.
Yeah, but I need like a list to sort of like
Oh, okay. Let me do that right now. Okay, I'm gonna write down and then you're gonna memorize it and then rewrite lah. Yeah, same stuff lah. Yeah, same stuff. Okay, so we'll handle that first, and then after that, do you think we can go to chemistry or physics lah? We should strengthen them lah.
After that, we go to chemistry because chemistry has problems now.
Can. All right, so I'll make the list. Now, before that, Kirana, sorry, I'm not seeing any video. I'm not seeing anything. I see your updates. So, oh, now I see something. Right. Okay, Kirana, you put one question for me. What do you want me to do for you?
I don't know how to do.
I see what you mean. Okay, like this, yeah. First, I have two things that you need to pay attention to in this situation. This is an E-math situation. It doesn't mean that it's easy, okay? But it means that
This A-math, by the way.
I know, but it is E-math skill. Remember, in A-math, there are really A-math skills, and there are also a lot of E-math skills. So when I say this is E-math in A-math, I mean that you're not missing any skills. You're missing something else. You're missing maybe you thought this is new, but this is not new or something like that. I'm trying to, in other words, I'm trying to bring your E-math into A-math. That is what I'm trying to do right now because I know this is E-math inside A-math. Something like that, Kirana. Okay, you're not missing something new. You're not applying your E-math is the problem. Now, so two things I want you to do. I want you to first draw this on Desmos, just to let you see because you're visual. Can you do that? Only the left-hand side, okay? You draw on Desmos and then you screenshot and then we'll talk about it and let's see whether that's truly
I
E-math.
screenshot and put it inside.
Correct, the Desmos lah. Right?
Okay.
Okay. Now for you, Aiden, I'm going to draw it on page 10. Would that be okay? Okay, it doesn't need much.
On page 11.
So, okay, volume and surface area. So you do need this too. Usually it's volume, but let's just be prepared. And the grouping is very simple. It's just about sphere or circle. And then it's about the prism. And then it's about the pyramids. Those are the three groups and there's nothing else. So if you memorize all, then you'll be okay lah. So for volume, it'll be sphere lah, right? So it'll be sphere. The volume will be 4/3 pi r cubed. And then the surface area of sphere will be 4 pi r square. And this will be a circle.
Oh, circle is 4 pi r square, is it?
For no. And that's why I write down everything, right? So
What's the difference between a sphere and a circle?
if you have to ask that, then I guess you are in some trouble, but it's very easy to solve though. It's very easy to solve. Do you have a ball with you? I want you to hold up.
Sphere is 3D, circle is 2D, is it?
Definitely true lah. Definitely true. You are right. You're absolutely right lah. That's the only difference between them, no? So that means inside a sphere, there will be a circle, but not the other way around, lah. Not the other way around. But there's something specific about 2D stuff. 2D stuff will have circumference, lah. And they will expect you to know that. But 3D stuff do not have circumference, none whatsoever. However, 3D stuff have volume, lah. So both are unique, lah. And you gotta know all. You gotta know all that. It's not about who is easier and who is more difficult. It's really you have to know everything. Your AMF student, they expect you to do that. Again, one more time. Area exists in both, you know. Area exists in both. Circle have an area. A sphere also have what they call a surface area. So you be careful with that. Okay, very good. Now, Kirana, now this drawing is clearly EMAF. The question is, can you draw this without the help of Desmos? Because it is something that you do learn, whether EMAT or AMAT. You learn how to draw a quadratic very quickly. Yes or no?
No.
All right, then I will refresh your EMAT. Remember, this is not optional. Meaning to say, you better refresh this in a sense that it will affect both your EMAT and AMAT, right? And since EMAT is our priority, this is a priority skill. So I'm going to refresh that. Okay, so in EMAT, they teach you the 4-point scale, right? So they teach you that you got to find these 4 points. Am I ringing any bell?
Oh, yeah.
The 4 points. Now, so what happens here, 2 of them combines. So I'm going to point out the points for you. So there's 1, there's 2, and then there's 3. So here only 3 points because 2 of them combine into 1. These 3 points, or 4, whichever, is what you're supposed to find, and then you draw. That's an EMAT skill, not AMAT. So EMAT, they teach you, you don't draw, you find points, and then you just naturally draw. Am I making any sense? Okay, then I will delete this Desmos, and then I will like you to do finding the points. Okay. Okay. Please do that, and then if you forget that, that's what we're gonna relearn again today. Okay. Do find the 4 or 3 points in this case. Now, Aiden, when you're waiting for me, I hope you have memorized the sphere and circle. That's really it, look. Those are the 4 terms.
Why is it that the circumference is a differentiated version of the area?
And because the surface area is a differentiated version of volume, you know. That's always true, you know. This is the dV dr, and this is a dA dr. That is always true. If you want an explanation, I'll give you. Here's a circle, right? This is not a sphere, correct? Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the rate of change of area simply means that the area is growing bigger or growing smaller. That's what it means. Correct? So when an area grows bigger, watch what happens. It grows into a slightly bigger version of itself, of course, but it grows by, so to speak, its circumference, so to speak. I'm using a very rough explanation here, but I hope you see that's why when an area is changing, it is changing first thing first by its circumference growing slightly bigger. Wait, am I explaining stuff to you or am I confusing you?
The first one that's confusing is why is this not dy dx?
Because we don't have, frankly speaking, at this point, they kind of expect you to not be stuck with y and x, but to be flexible in whatever 2 variables. So whatever the variable, which is to say here, the variable is not a y-axis and an x-axis. It's not. But the variable is area because the area is changing. The area can grow. And the other thing which can change or grow is the radius. So there are a few things that you can try lah. You can imagine that this is y and this is x to give you confidence, but that's not what they want. What they want is for you to know that a area is changing, radius is changing, the ADR no finish no. At least that's what we are supposed to learn as an A math student. Now, am I explaining or am I confusing?
I think I sort of get it.
Okay, then that's the skill that we need for
But
crop conatorial changes. You're saying?
the radius thing that you mentioned, what is that radius thing?
Which one are you referring to?
You said like, well, you cannot differentiate radius, right? So they cannot use.
dy dx. Differentiate y with respect to x, right? That's what you learned. Correct?
If you say the radius, it would normally there's no like formula for radius finding, right?
What do you mean by no formula for radius? If you want, you can reverse the formula into radius in area lah, if you want lah.
No, this one can be dr over dr, radius.
Wait, you better write something in the Jamboard. I'm not following you. Which one?
Radius cannot be under here, right? Because there's no such thing as d. It's like dr.
No. I mean, dr dt, yeah lah. In conatorial change, you will talk about dr dt and dA dt.
But when you talk about
But formula don't have. No, there is no formula at all for dr dt and dA dt. At least not what we need to remember. What we need to remember is what is shown here.
Okay, that's good.
So dr dt and dA dt is provided in the question. The question's job, it is never your job or my job. Never. Never.
Question will always provide stuff like radius, length, speed.
Yes,
Okay.
that's just like providing the X load. That's not a how to say, that's not a surprise lah. So to speak. It's not a surprise.
Right, and that's better.
Now, when you're ready, you erase and you rewrite. Okay. Anyway, your writing is better, man. Okay. Then we'll go to prism and pyramid. You'll see that they are actually much easier than this one. Okay, so Kirana, when you draw these points, then you have successfully drawn the graph, and then the graph just extends upward. No problem, right? So far, so good, yeah? Now, to answer the question, again, I promise you that this is an EMATH thingy, which you need to do every time now in EMATH, right? Once you find them, you can draw the graph. So again, first step is find the points. You got the points, and then you draw the graph, which you have drawn. And now look at the question. The question is saying, right? This is the graph, right?
Yeah.
When is the graph, right? When is the graph smaller than or equal to 0? Now, a few things to remember. This 0 refers to the x-axis. If you don't understand, you can ask for explanation, but it will always refer to the x-axis. This is 0, and why is that so? Because he's talking about y equals to 0 lah. So again, when is the graph smaller or actually lower than the x-axis, y equals to 0? Am I making any sense right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when, or more precisely, where? Where? So when we say where, then obviously our eyes, after we draw us, so okay, it's going to be this section. This section is lower than, the x-axis, but those sections are not, correct? Those sections. So that's what our eyes see. You don't have to draw this, but if you do that, your teacher wouldn't mind. You're declaring to yourself, this is the section, and the other section I'm gonna throw away, basically lah. Okay, Ken? Okay, so the final answer is where when x is 0 equals no. This is how you must declare for the final answer lah. But you must draw, you must have the points, and then you must declare. Am I making any sense? Now that's it for the steps here. That's it for the steps here. And those I will say these are all e-math skills, which that means you have to understand very strongly. Right? This is good. This is actually good. We are studying e-math inside e-math. Very good. Now for you, Aiden, prism is something that the surface area or the cross-sectional area is the same throughout. The cross-sectional area is the same throughout. That's a prism. For a pyramid, the cross-sectional area changes up to a point. That's what a pyramid means, and that's what a prism means. You learn that in Sec 1 and you learn that in Sec 2. That's it, right? Okay. So for a prism, the volume is always the height times cross-sectional area, and that's it, really. There isn't much other than that. A volume is exactly 1/3 the volume of the prism. And that's really it for the volume.
1/3 the volume of
which is 1/3 of the height times the cross section. If you never realize this, that means something missing in your Sec 2 mensuration. This will be very helpful for O level anyway. So please understand this.
So pyramids cross-sectional area is
Well, they call it base area lah in a pyramid. I guess that's fair lah, yeah. Base area lah. Here's your base area lah. Now, Kirana, are you okay or are you stuck? Because I want you to try 2A immediately, you see.
I'm okay.
Okay. Then are you doing 2A? Because I want to see you do 2A.
2A, I did finish it.
You did finish 2A? Read. Okay, show me 2A. Show me your 2A. Show me your 2A. Take a picture. I want to see, yeah? Because this is very important. You're going to use this, like, I think immediately in AMAT. Okay, we need it. We need it. So could you show me something? And then if you're okay, and then we can go on. Aiden, first thing first, the volume is like that lah. Are you okay? Volume of prism and volume of pyramid.
what with the cross-sectional area is the shape that I don't know.
One more time. So cross-sectional area is something that goes like this. Again, the cross-sectional area is something that is the same throughout. The same throughout. So if I draw a cylinder, the circle is the same throughout. You got to see this. There is no theory. This is like seeing it to understand it lah. You see that the circle is the same throughout.
Oh, it's pi r square h.
Yeah, pi r square times h lah. The height being this guy, no, even though it doesn't look like a height. Even though it doesn't look like a height, that is the height. So the cross-sectional area can be anything in between. It can be circle, it can be triangle, it can be square, it can be rectangle. And I trust that you know how to deal with them lah. If you forget one of them, better tell me immediately. Kirana, if you have done 2A, please. There you go. Okay, now I see. Yes. Okay. Let me see. Okay, I'll make it bigger than Kirana, yeah. Let me just see that. No, you're correct. Okay, I was worried that you were wrong, but you're definitely correct. Now, when you do this, it doesn't seem like you're drawing, which I argue that you should be drawing this instead of just -3 and 1. So again, one more time, you should know, Kirana, that you're actually drawing a quadratic graph, an e-math skill, instead of just drawing number -1 and number 3. This is
why do you need to draw?
Yeah, but Kirana, there's one thing that I'm worried about. If you just memorize the steps in exam, you will be shaky. This is based on your own experience. Am I correct or not? Now, if I'm wrong, you ignore my explanation. I assume that you'll be shaky in exam if you just memorize the steps. However, I also assume that if you understand what you're doing, you won't be very shaky. So I'm just telling you, oh, what is this guy doing? This guy is nothing else other than the drawing of a quadratic graph. Because we need to worry about where the quadratic graph is above or below. That's always what we need to do. Why is this important? Because sometimes the quadratic graph is flipped. Sometimes. You just that you haven't encountered them. Once it's flipped, it's not very easy for you to do this anymore without the drawing. The drawing is just as simple as a smiley or a frowny. I mean, keeping it very simple, that's all you need to do. Now, Kirana, does this feel like something new? Does your teacher not tell you this?
No.
Okay, then I'm telling you, Kirana, for the sake of you being stable in exam, you follow me. Don't say things like, your teacher don't require it. I know your teacher don't require it. He's very smart one. Do you require it or not in exam? Do you need it or not? That's the important thing.
Mm,
Or you have tuition just for me to repeat the teachers, and exam you take care of yourself. You must understand why you do tuition. Is it really just to repeat what the teacher is saying, which is a good thing lah, but
like if I got question, then I ask you.
which is true. That's what tuition means lah. But if in exam you are shaky, then how? I mean, isn't intuition, you also want to learn the skills that make your exam solid lah. Which is for me, I'm just saying that you understand a little bit more, you will feel more solid, not less solid. You won't feel like a burden, you actually feel stronger if you understand what you're doing instead of you know what? I don't want to preach to you lah. Like you will see for yourself when the questions are hard, which path you choose. These questions are very easy. This question will not appear in exam. Let's move on to the next question. Then you can choose whichever you want to do that, right? Okay, now I believe that you have no problem for 2A. Now let's move on to the next harder questions. Okay, now Aiden, back to you. The volume clear first or not before you memorize?
I guess clear, but for example, if it's a pyramid, then it's 1/3 times h times the volume of a square. I mean the area of a square.
Yeah, you identify the base area, I suppose, and then you identify the height, and then you just 1/3, and there is really nothing else. That's really how it works, really.
And then how does the area come about? Because this one is the one that I'm confused.
Then I will ask you this lah. That means your Sec 2 and Sec 1 mensuration do have problem though. That is the source of the problem, so it seems lah. Now let me ask you this drawing. Tell me, this drawing is a prism or a pyramid?
It's a pyramid.
Which one is a pyramid?
The whole thing is a pyramid. Oh no, wait.
No. No.
Bottom here is a pyramid.
Okay, good. And the reason is because it meets at a point. Maybe that's the easiest way to see a pyramid lah. You'll see harder one very soon. The top one is, you don't think of it as a prism, okay? You just think of it as a cuboid lah, and you'll be fine, okay? So the top one, you'll be fine, right? The bottom one, you'll also be fine what? If they ask you for volume, then the volume of this kind of pyramid will be the 1/3 times the height times the base area. Now the question is, do you know which one's height and which one's base? If you know, let's not think too much. Let's just practice.
Yeah, I should know.
Good. So now once you know that, okay, we'll just have to explore some other things that might be more confusing. Now, before I do that, let me ask you, the cross-sectional area or the base area can take all this form, right? And take all this form, this one. So which one do you need, me to refresh the formula? Which one?
I think I know the formula for all of them.
Everything?
The trapezium is what? No, not this one is what formula?
Parallelogram. Now, parallelogram, the formula is surprisingly exact same as rectangle. So that means you gotta find the height and you gotta find the width. Exactly the same as a rectangle. Okay, Kirana, just to confirm, you are stuck here, is it? Is what you're saying? All right. So now we are at AMAT territory. How do we know? Because of this guy, right? This guy signifies AMAT. And what does it signify? The movement of graph. Ken? The graph is moving. This is AMAT, definitely. So far, so good?
Yeah.
Previously, the graph is not moving. There is no N, there is no K. So that's EMAT territory. Can ya?
Yeah.
Now all your skills in EMath and AMath will be used here lah, right? So now the first thing you should do is just like question 2A, you will have to move 11 to the left loop. Now tell me, have you thought about that before?
Uh, or then like you just simplify first everything.
You move everything to the left. So if you don't know that this is supposed to be the first step, then I'm telling you, look, every time you gotta make the right-hand side 0. Every time when you see this kind of thing, whether EMath or AMath, it doesn't matter. Every time. Now, if you do not know that that is the first step, now you know. And every time you do this first, and then you do the left-hand side as a declaration, oh, that's what I'm trying to do. Don't just memorize step, Kirana. You'll be stuck. Okay, understand it lah. Now, the understanding is we always need the right-hand side to be, 0 lah. We always. Now, please continue. Any other area to clarify, Aiden?
Why is like some stuff they look like that one, 2 pi r, I don't know how to phrase it, but some stuff look like that. It's like pi.
Yeah, you're looking at the result, you're looking at the result, but I mean, this guy, only this guy, okay? This one is the surface area of the cone lah. That's it lah. This one is the surface area of a cone. So that's something new that you have to memorize. That's fair. This one is a circle. You know that, right? Okay. This 2 pi RH is clearly a cylinder. That's your base area times height. Correct or not? Correct or not? Okay. This one, I'm not so sure what you're writing, but when we see it in question, we will be able to figure it out. So now, Aiden, time to jump into questions. No? There really isn't much other thing to memorize. There really isn't.
This whole thing is the cone. This whole thing
Yeah,
is
the surface area of a cone, right? The surface area of a cone. What is the surface area of a cone? The surface area of a cone is this one and the circle below. You don't memorize this, man. If you try to memorize this, you are going on the wrong route already. Totally wrong already. It's almost as if you don't understand what is a cone, which is not good at all for EMath and AMath. Not good. Can't you see that a cone is made of the, I guess, the coney shape and then the bottom circle lah. If you cannot see this, you're gonna tell me immediately because there's a very easy solution.
I can see that.
Okay, then see it instead of memorizing it. Don't memorize that. That's forbid. I forbid you to memorize that. You are sabotaging yourself lah. Let's just say that way lah. Let's just say that way.
Okay.
Do I expand the n plus 1?
No. Let me ask you what happened in AMath now. In AMath, what do you do? Not EMath, huh? You always do discriminant, right?
Yeah.
So, is this enough for you to do discriminant? If it is enough, do it. If it is not, adjust until you can. That's what AMath do all the time. Correct? Then do. Okay, now regarding the bottom one cylinder, can you see why there is a cylinder, or do we explore a bit?
See it. I can see why it is a cylinder.
See it, don't memorize it.
Yeah,
never do that.
See it and not
Never
memorize.
do that. Yeah, never. Okay, so that's cone and that's cylinder, lah, right? The reason why I ask you not to memorize because sometimes they can say open cylinder. If you memorize, you have problem already. Open cone, you got problem already. Frustrum, a cut cone. If you memorize that, you got a problem already. You got all sorts of problem if you memorize those two. All sorts. You cannot handle the shapes that they throw at you. Basically, you cut. It's so easy for them to just change a little bit and then you die already. Okay. Okay, so don't. Now, I guarantee you there is nothing else to memorize. Nothing else. You just have to memorize what's here, and then we gotta practice it in, exam level questions, and then you'll feel much better. Do you want to do that right now?
I think I also want to go to chemistry.
So we are done here. You're happy. You sure?
Yeah, because I think my chemistry needs more help than AMAX.
All right. All right. Okay. Show me something of your chemistry so I at least know what's going on. Yeah.
I have
Now, show me. Put something first. Like put something first.
do I create a different Jamboard from the next one?
That's up to you. Totally. I'll follow you wherever. Okay, Kirana, you don't know why, but that's what AMAT do, right? Discriminant. It's fair to say that you do not know, but come on, you always do discriminant, right? For this one, I will suggest that you don't do this. This is what I teach you. Follow me, Kirana. Do not copy and paste like that. This is the wrong copying. Follow me, do not do this at the start. One more time, Kirana, yeah? I never teach you that if the original is bigger than 0, then the discriminant also bigger than 0. I never teach you that. Don't do that. You will be wrong half of the time. And that's not good for exam. Do you understand what I'm saying, Kirana?
Yeah.
Do not copy from the original to the discriminant. Just do the discriminant. What I teach you is, if you're uncomfortable, just equate to 0, and then you can change later. Remember that I teach you that?
Yeah.
Your teacher do not teach you that, yes?
Mm.
Follow me. Follow me, Kirana. You will then adjust for what your teacher want later. Follow me because I'm trying to make it understandable to you. One more time. Follow me. Continue. Aiden, for chemistry, you're not showing me anything, isn't it?
I sent you a Jamboard and I will show you stuff.
Okay.
I'm waiting the Jamboard to load on my iPad because I put it on my computer,
Got it.
not on my iPad.
Now, last year you feel comfortable with your previous class lecture note thingy lah.
No, I'm not comfortable.
Do you have such comfort this year?
I don't have to comfort this year. Neither do I have it last year.
Hey, I thought you are resourceful enough to get some lecture notes from your teacher last time. No?
No, I don't do this kind of things though. I use, I don't know how to say. I take from. I sort of organize it, self-organize my own stuff.
Wait. So that we are talking about the same thing. Remember that last year, you moved class, right? Your chemistry class is now worse, something like that, right? That
Yeah.
happened, yeah, before we meet, right? But then you can get the lecture notes from your previous class, which you think is better, something like that. And then you learn from that. And I always feel that you're more comfortable there. Are we talking about the same thing? Did happen last year? What? No way.
It did. I took right now the notes that I take it from a different class that isn't last year class, but I don't really care about whose notes I take from.
But are you comfortable, or does the notes help you? I suppose like last year lah.
The notes give me, I mean, it gives me confusion, but it's probably confusion on my end. But at the same time, I try to wait for the thing to load on my iPad. It's only load on my computer. My iPad is damn slow.
Now, in 2 more minutes, if it doesn't, we're just going to do it my way lah. Right? Just going to do it. Okay, again, remember, Kirana, I do ask you to do equal to 0 if you're not comfortable. Now, you don't have to do this. Do you feel comfortable if you equate to 0, at least at first? You feel more?
Yeah.
All right, then equate to 0 from the start until the end, not just the end. Right? You can adjust later on very easily. This guy also? Okay, now, Kirana, what do you do at this point? Do you know or do not know?
Is it the minus b plus minus square root b square minus 4ac over 2a?
You can you mean the formula?
Yeah.
Yes, you can do the formula. Now, please learn it this way. Yeah? The formula is part of a bigger picture called drawing. No? The formula helps you to find certain things, right? Correct or not? Which is part of the drawing. Part of the drawing. Furthermore, I teach you, even though you write the formula, you should never use it in calculator. In calculator, you have a better way, correct? I also teach you that.
Yeah.
Does your teacher teach you that? Write the formula, but never put it in calculator. It's very dangerous in exam. You'll make a lot of error. Does your teacher teach you that?
Like how to say?
Does your teacher teach you write the formula, but don't input it in calculator? Just use the, the menu 5 thingy lah,
Use the method 5, that one.
Yeah, method 5, polynomial 2. You must use that.
Sometimes I do the formula because I scared.
Hey, you should write the formula. Again, one more time, my teaching is clear, yeah, from holiday tuition. You must write the formula, but you do not input that in calculator. Because it's very
time wasting.
Okay, yeah, not just time wasting. You input something wrong in exam, and then you'll be very stressed out. That's normally what happened to people, not just you. By the way, just to confirm, it's not you. It's everybody confused like that one in exam. Time is another problem, no? You input, waste of time, and then, it's not a good exam technique. Not good at all. Okay? But what I'm teaching you is even more valuable. What I'm teaching you is that is part of drawing. So I want you to draw. If you want to put the formula, I'm okay. But I want to see some sort of drawing, either this or that. Okay? Follow me. Follow me. Please do what you know lah. You seem to know what to do. Now, Aiden, you write for me this. This is not a difficult formula. Now, why?
Not a difficult one, but I wrote this because I was trying to ask for the CH4, which do we look at this guy or do we look at the one at the, I mean, this is not the best example, but I just asking like for the reactants, for the starting products, which end product do we look at to correlate the starting product to check whether is it oxidation or reduction?
So you're talking about redox.
Yeah, it's redox.
Right. Now, let me clear. I've never taught you redox, I suppose, right? I've never, right? Now, have you started learning redox, or this is already quite deep?
But I have learned the whole chapter.
Then, can I just teach you the easiest method, the method that works every time?
Oh, I know you're talking about the oxidation state.
Yeah. That is just the best method that works every time, lah, at least in O-level. This definition of gaining in oxygen is a nice definition, but half work, half doesn't work. Not a good skill in exam.
Yeah,
Same thing, just same thing.
Tell like which one does stuff like, it may not be CH4, does this kind of stuff relate to on the other side?
I don't understand what you're asking.
Okay,
so like this. So it goes like this. When you talk about redox, you don't talk about CH4. You're wrong. You're talking about the C in CH4 or the H in CH4. You don't talk about CH4. That's where it's wrong already. So if you just talk about C, then it's very clear that you should be talking about C in CH4 and C in CO2. Because you redox per element, not per element, sorry. You redox per atom, not per element, so to speak. You don't ask, did CH4 reduce or oxidize? Wrong concept already. The C reduce or oxidize. That one you can answer.
Okay, but why is
now,
it
is that, yes?
Why is it that in the when the teacher writes the answer, he writes substance oxidized CH4?
Yeah, the C in CH4 or the H in CS4. You can ask me why they say it wrongly, or you can immediately, because I'm telling you the correct not the explanation, the correct concept. It is the same thing in A level. I'm serious, I'm serious. And later on in exam questions, they will explicitly say which one reduces, which is to say the N or the C or the H. They never say the CH4 specifically in exam questions. The explanation is not good, is what I'm saying. It's really not good at all.
Now, how do we know to look at C or to look at H4? Because in all my answers for all my teachers' worksheets, they don't just write C, they write the whole CH4.
Right. So now let me show you. Again, the redox number, yeah, you cannot run from it, nor should you run from it, right? In redox number, they teach. Kirana, don't do the cross. Oh, you're drawing. Sorry, I'm wrong. So in the redox method, first you say you do all the H's and the O first. The H's are -1. The O's here are 0. This one is 7. I'm sorry, this one is +1. We're talking about +1, -2, -2, +1. You do all that first in redox, correct?
Okay, I see what happened.
This is not what you learn. This is not what you learn at all. Let me repeat what I said, yeah? In talking about the redox number, you first do the H's and the O. The H's will either be +1 or 0. The O's will either be -2 or 0. And it is only 0 when it's O2. It's very easy one. One more time. In H2, it's 0. The rest +1, simple. And that's why you do them first. This is new to you, Aiden. This is new, isn't it?
I know that this thing is 0.
All right, then this is 0, this is +1, this is -2, +1, -2. No complaints? That's the first step. Then the second step is to fill up the rest. Look. This is clearly -4, and this is clearly +4. Clear already, and there's nothing else to fill.
Okay.
The C in CH4 oxidizes, and that's it. From -4 to +4. Now, how come I'm so sure that in exam, they actually think about C, not CH4 only, because they want this number. They literally want -4 to be written and +4 to be written. How else are you going to write -4 and +4 without concentrating on the C only, so to speak?
You know what can I write that the H in CH4 reduced to become
The
plus.
H never reduce. You're wrong. The
Yeah.
H stays +1 and +1. The H never reduces or oxidizes. You're
But
wrong.
in a scenario where it reduces, or in a scenario where it oxidizes, how do I know to pick the C and not the H in a scenario where it oxidizes?
Hello, give the reaction, Aiden. This reaction first. You settle this reaction first. Quickly, settle this reaction. The unoxidizing is C. In a redox, you must identify the one reducing. Who is the one reducing? Uh-oh.
I mean, C
It's
is
obvious. The C is
oxidizing.
oxidizing, the O is reducing, and only that is the end. You are doing it halfway. It's called redox for a reason. One guy oxidizes, the other guy must reduce. There, the O reduces, and I don't think you see that.
I can see the O reduces from 0 to -2.
Yeah, and then you should say that, as in for yourself in your mind. And then you fully analyze the redox of this guy, fully. The H doesn't matter in this reaction. You want to talk about other reaction, I'll give you. But right now, this one first lah. Stop jumping around. Think about it for a while. Kirana, after you draw this, again, I'm putting you this question mark. No reaction. This one. Oh dear. Oh dear. Kirana, sorry to stop for a long time. So are you okay or not? Tell me. Because I put question mark, but I don't see anything. Kirana, are you there? Kirana, again, tell me, you're confused with this one, right? The question mark, correct?
I mixed up with EMAF.
There's no such thing. If your email is wrong, you won't be mixed up, right? You won't be mixed up, yeah? Just now what you did was wrong, and you don't need to do it right now, at least no need. Okay, now, once you draw, you got a decision to make, right? So now, what I teach you is, after you draw, then you start to think about the question. What the question wants is, for this guy to be above the y-axis, okay? That's what he wants, lah. That's what he wants. To do that, check the Desmos. That's what I teach you, lah, right? I'm returning you back to Desmos so that you can check. Your answer will definitely involve 9 and 5-1 in your Desmos. So this is using Desmos to finally decide. Please do that, Kirana, right? Not you'll be waiting for me too long. It's like you forget everything what I teach you, lah, right? Go to Desmos quickly, find the answer. Aiden, are we settled with the first reaction?
I guess so. I'm trying to self-study the answer.
Second reaction, please. Redox number immediately.
Redox number. You mean the charge, is it?
Oxidation state. Let's see how much you learn from the school, right? Okay, good. Right. Don't say +2.
I screen.
Yeah, +1. I mean total's +2 lah, but it's +1.
You can Kirana, but no point screenshotting because this one is a moving one, right, Kirana? Do you understand? This one is a moving one. If it is a moving one, it's very difficult to screenshot one thing, right? If you cannot understand your Desmos though, let's just share your screen and talk about it. Okay. Now, again, the final analysis, Aiden, who reduces and who oxidizes? That is what you need to declare.
0 to 2 guy reduce. Oh, wait, never mind.
Yeah, that's wrong. Now, Kirana, do you actually get an answer from Desmos, or are you currently confused? Oh, you get it. Okay, then does the answer involve, 5 and 9, something like that, I guess?
Yeah.
Then, based on your Desmos, you have to answer what 5, what 9. Because the 5 and 9 is correct, but it's usually something like bigger than or smaller than, something like that. You don't show me, you don't have to show me Desmos, but you have to write down something that makes sense according to Desmos. Now, Aiden, let me repeat my point, yeah? If the reduction and oxidation is regarding H2O, then you have a big problem with your concept. Is H2O being reduced or oxidized? It's both. How can that be? Do you understand what I'm saying?
The oxidation charge. Let me see. I also have this suspicion. H2 and H2 here, O2 and O here. So these O2s, the oxygen number dropped from there's two oxygen here, there's only one atom. But hydrogen, they remain the same at 2, and then there's 2 here. But if I go by oxidation charge, this guy here is 0, this guy here is 0 and 0. So 0 to +1 should be oxidized, and then 0 to -2 should be reduced.
No, that's of course correct. No, I'm asking you something different, Aiden. You're saying that your node claims the CH4 is being oxidized, correct? The CH4 is being, not just the C, correct?
CH4.
Now look at the second reaction, which is a very simple reaction one. If that concept is correct, it's the whole CH4, not just the C. I claim it's the C only. I claim the exam will test you on that. But your node seems to claim it's the whole CH4. Am I correct? You present that issue just now.
Yeah, my notes and my last year end of year exam also seems to claim that.
Yeah, so now look at this second reaction. So if your node is correct, specifically correct, then what do you claim about H2O? Is H2O being oxidized or reduced?
Because there's oxidation and reduction happening simultaneously, is a redox reaction.
You're not making any sense already, right?
Right.
On top is also redox what? On top also have reduction and oxidation. On bottom also have reduction and oxidation. My question is H2O being reduced or oxidized according to your notes concept?
My notes don't write it this way, but according to my own brain, there's both.
Aiden, if they ask you in exam, is H2O reduced or oxidized? What will you answer?
Our answer H2 oxidizes from a charge of 0 to become +1. O2 is reduced from a charge of 0 to become -2.
And
Since
therefore, you're avoiding the H2O, right?
yeah. H2
You know what?
oxidizes from
You know what?
0.
No, I don't want to discuss with you. I'll just say that you are not wrong. You are not wrong. If that answer is acceptable for your teacher, then I won't complain already. Okay? I've set my concept though. I've set my concept. Now it is up to you to test it in the real life lah. And the real life will usually mean the exam. Right? Okay, so I won't contradict your lecture note. I won't contradict your lecture note at all. Right? That will just create more confusion. Okay, if you have a next question, go ahead. If not, I suggest we go to some sort of prelim redox question. I suggest. Okay.
For the
Yeah.
graph, right?
Yes, Kirana.
Is there supposed to be a slider?
Yes, because N ma. Uh-oh, you forgot everything I taught you, isn't it? Screenshot, please. No, share screen, please. Oh, come on, Kirana. All right, come on. Share screen, please. Come on.
Wait, I accidentally deleted my.
Then create again, and then share screen, please. Aiden, shall we move on to a prelim question, or you have other question you want to ask?
I would try to self-rationalize the other stuff so you can do the prelim stuff.
You mean you need some time, is it?
I'll self-rationalize later because I don't know lah. It's hard for someone to explain, or it's hard for me to explain my query to someone.
Yeah. No, I'm not asking you to explain your query also. All I'm asking is that your own theory better match the exam, right? If you have to make your own theory, it must stand the. Let's not fight. Okay, I'll adjust. Okay. Now, whatever theory you want, I suggest that you do the reduction oxidation number immediately.
Then why do we learn the other stuff? Why can't we just learn like oxidation state?
Aiden, I can talk about the history. Do you want me to talk about the history? Really? You know my answer already. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The other stuff does not matter at all in exam. I guarantee you that. But you're not happy with the answer. Do you want me to talk about history?
That's fine. I'll just accept it for what it is.
Oh, I got the slider.
Okay, share the screen, please. And then how do you find the answer for find the range of values blah, 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 blah bigger than 11? How do you do that? Show me. Wait, where's 11? Oh, you do minus 11, which is fine. Sorry, which is fine. Okay. Aiden, I'm waiting for the redox numbers. You say you accepted, then please do the redox number. Where's the redox number?
I can do it, but can I just ask about the electron thing? The electron thing cannot be used, right? You only use oxidation state for all these.
Oh dear, you want to talk about gain of oxygen, gain of hydrogen, and you also want to talk about gain and reducing of electron, right? You want to talk about that?
Right.
We can talk about it. Do you want to or you don't want to? Come on, which one do you want?
Yeah, I'll ask my school teacher about that one.
Sure thing. Maybe then you'll see why I totally skipped that. It's a waste of time. It's really a waste of time. Waste of your time. Okay, come on, Kirana, I teach you to zoom in, yeah? I teach you to zoom in to check. Zoom in, please. Right? See, then you can see that it's a bit flying. Come on. There, it's much better. Once you hit something, I teach you to, zoom in again to check. I also teach you to manipulate not just by slider, but by typing also. Come on, remember all this, man. When things are hard, what I teach you is the most important thing, right? Yeah, zoom in, right? See, it's flying. So manipulate, make the 8.9, type it as 9. Yeah, you can type it as 9 if you want to, right? Then try go for 5. Try going for 5, right? Where's 5? There you go. There's 5. So 9 and 5 is part of the answer. Now, do you know how to answer? You already have 9 or 5. Desmos is not there to provide you with 9 or 5. Your skill is good enough to take you for 9 and 5. What does Desmos do for you?
To confirm that is correct.
No, not just that. Come on. Oh, come on. Don't forget what I teach you, Kirana. This is not the time to forget. Look, there's a bigger than 0 here, right? In the graph, lah. In the graph, blah, 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 minus 11 bigger than 0. Correct or not?
Yeah.
Desmos can tell you when it is bigger than 0, as in above the x-axis or lower than the x-axis. Now, when is it above the x-axis? The Desmos can tell you it's not 5 or 9. It is, try, for example, sliding, slide. Now use the slider. Don't slide too much. Don't slide too much. Don't play. Just go near 5, Just go near 5, right? Just slide a little bit. Okay, stop there. Stop. They just, yeah. Just go to 5.1. Just go to 5.1 or 5.2. Come on. Come on, don't forget what okay. At 5.1, is it above or below?
It's floating.
Which is above the x-axis, right?
Yeah.
How about 4.9? It's okay. Just 4.9. There you go. It is now below. Correct?
Yeah.
So which one is the answer? 5.9 is part of the answer, or 4.9 is part of the answer?
5.
5 is the answer, I know, but 5.1, how? Uh-oh. Give me annotation, please.
I can't annotate on my screen.
You cannot give me annotation? No, in the menu? There is no. Oh, you're using iPad. I apologize. Sorry. Okay. Never mind. I'll take a picture. Okay, kindly go to your Jamboard, please. You don't have to share screen anymore. Oh, this is what you want, isn't it? Okay, Aiden, what do I say? This one, they don't allow it at all. The phrasing, they don't allow it at all. Although the logic, I can understand. I can understand the logic, but the phrasing, they don't allow at all. Okay, because that's not really a charge, I guess. Yeah, they will make issue on this, right? Okay, so far so good, Kirana. That's
Yeah.
5.1, 5, and 4.9. Again, my question is, I know 5 is part of the answer. Is 5.1 part of the answer or not? It's a yes, no, or don't know. Simple.
No.
Okay, then you have a problem. It is part of the answer. 4.9. Is that part of the answer or not, or don't know?
Don't know.
It is not. Now, the simple reason is because they asked for bigger than 0, original, correct? Remember, bigger than 0. That means what? Above the x-axis. Okay,
Oh.
above the x-axis. That's what they asked for in the question, correct or not?
Yeah.
So that's why the 5.1 is included and the 4.1 is not lah. This makes sense or not?
Yeah.
This is where n equals to 9. So basically, from here to here is all included. The rest are not. And that's what Desmos tells you. The others cannot tell you. Make sense?
Yeah.
Now, what is the answer then? Once you know all this, you're ready to do the final answer. It involves 5 and 9, but you got to say bigger than or smaller than. Now, Aiden, the blue one, is it from the answer key? Something like that?
I'm trying to use the oxidation state electrons to explain.
Yeah, it's just much safer, really. Even though losing electron, you are not wrong at all, but it messes up the phrasing that they want. Okay, I'm being very practical. That's why just use the reduction oxidation number. You will be totally correct one.
So all
Correct,
questions
this is
can use
correct, this is
oxidation
correct,
state.
this is correct. Yeah,
Hey,
correct.
all
Yeah.
questions can use oxidation state, so I can forget about everything else.
Except in MCQ, because in MCQ, they forces the, gaining oxygen or losing electron. But in MCQ, you don't have this problem at all. In MCQ, you will be able to do it. But in paper 2, it is a paper 2 question. This thinking is just whack everything correct one.
But
Okay.
in the MCQ, can I still reverse engineer it and use the oxidation state to...
Of course, totally.
Okay, yeah, I can ignore all
Totally.
the...
Yes, you can ignore the rest because it's a waste of time. Why is it so? Because the losing or gaining electron, the gaining oxygen thingy doesn't work in some cases. Total waste of time. The reduction oxidation state works all the time, not a waste of time. Makes sense?
Okay. So
that's
now I
the
know.
practical thing, the practical thing. Right? However, when your teacher speak, you listen to him lah. I'm not saying that you shouldn't listen, right? Historically, the scientists start from gaining and or losing oxygen first, historically. But there is no point for me to explain to you because it's inferior, because even the scientists develop until oxidation state, if that makes sense to you. Even they develop it themselves.
Oh.
Right? Even they admit that losing oxygen thingy is limited, even they. Right? Okay. If you're satisfied, you can move on. If you're not satisfied, try one more. Try one more. There's a lot of reduction.
Try one more move on.
Right. Kirana, again, you still don't know how to answer, am I correct?
Is
The
the
final?
is it the more than x less than x, the inequality sign?
Not x, n. The question asks for n. Your Desmos deals with n, correct? It's n. It's 5, n, and 9. Oh, goodness me. Right. The way you write is very worrying to me. Okay, don't erase, don't erase. Now, time to understand this lah. Okay. Now, this one, the bigger one is on the left or the bigger one is on the right? Which one? Which is bigger? According to you. I don't mean you memorize. I mean, according to you, naturally, this looks like the bigger one left or the bigger one right?
Bigger one left.
And you will be correct. Just to confirm, this guy, the bigger one on the left or the big one on the right?
Bigger one on the right.
And you would be correct. So your understanding of the symbol is correct. You don't have to memorize anything. Now, look at the Desmos. 4.9 is wrong lah, correct? 5.1 is correct. So you want the n to be, 5.1 or 5.2 and so on and so forth. Correct or not?
Yeah.
Now, when you symbol it this way, the n is therefore smaller than 5. Is that what you want? Yes, no, or don't know?
Yeah.
Okay, one more time. You don't want 4.9, right?
Mm.
You want 5.1. Correct? Correct, yeah? According to Desmos, that's true.
Yeah.
But if you write down this way, you're saying then n should be smaller than 5. But you don't want 4.9. 4.9 is wrong. 5.1 is correct. But you are saying that the n should be smaller than 5, or 5 should be bigger than n. Am I confusing you, Kirana?
No.
Okay, then 5 smaller than or bigger to n. And then what about the 9? How about the 9? Do you want smaller or bigger than? Okay, I want you to check on Desmos. I don't like the way you deal with this, right? I want you to check on Desmos. Do you want 9.1 or do you want 8.9? Check on Desmos. That's what Desmos can do for you. Okay, Aiden, tell me, why do you want to talk about this Sec 3 question? I don't mind.
Oh, it's a Sec 3 one.
Density, melting point, ions.
Oh, I thought it was
Very,
periodic
very
table
Sec3.
stuff.
Very Sec3, I feel. I feel very Sec3.
I thought it was a periodic stuff, but never mind.
It might be. It might be. I mean, to be fair to you, it might be actually. To be fair, if you want to practice this, I don't mind. No, no. I just want to know why. If you want to practice this, I have no problem with. Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Okay, Kirana, I cannot see your Desmos. Doesn't matter. Which one does the Desmos tell you? Is it 8.9 or is it 9.1?
Yeah, still checking.
Okay.
8.9.
8.9 is what you want or what you don't want?
What I want.
You want. And let me confirm that 9.1 you don't want. Let me confirm that.
Yeah.
Okay, then do that properly in your final answer. Is your final answer saying that? You're saying that n bigger than 9, correct? Check this out. Now, to recall what I teach you in holiday tuition, do you know why I asked you to do Desmos?
See if like the graph is like on the x-axis.
Which kind of tells you whether bigger or smaller, that kind of thing. That's what Desmos can tell you, correct? Not just the 5 and the 9. Your skill is enough for 5 and 9, but your bigger and smaller is not yet good. Not yet good at all. You seem to be thinking about all sorts of other things. I'm using Desmos to build your mind properly. This is if you want to learn A math. Can you? Can?
Yeah.
I will enforce Desmos every time. At least in tuition, I can do that. Now, there's a last problem. You do have a lot of problem. I'm glad that we cover. Is the equal part. Read the question one more time. Find the range of value, blah, 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 for this one is bigger than 0, correct? That's what the question say, above the x-axis, correct?
Yeah.
You are saying that 5 included. You are saying that 9 included. Is 5 and 9 above the x-axis?
No.
Then should it be included or not?
No.
Then scrap it, because Desmos also tells you, oh, 5 is exactly, so it shouldn't be included. And your final answer, therefore, should be 5 smaller than 9. Your final answer is this. Any questions so far?
No.
I hope you have another homework like this. Do you have?
No, I don't have already.
Oh, man. We need to practice one. Cannot just like this. Okay, Kirana. You have no other homework question to ask me, correct?
No.
Then do question 8 lo. Would that be okay? This is question 7. Let's do question 8. Same method 1. You'll be using decimals and everything. Would that be okay?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm moving page 17 so that you have space. Now you can do it on page 20. Oh. Okay, Aiden. The sentencing, the way you make the sentence, is that what you're struggling with right now?
Yes, I think the concept I got it right, I think.
I think the largest atomic radius one is correct. So here's the concept, or rather the phrase that you want to use. The concept first. It's just easier to lose electron from a bigger shell because it's farther from the nuclei. It's just farther.
Yeah.
The farther, the easier. Though. So you're aiming larger atomic radius, totally great, right? Why don't you just zoom in immediately? Largest atomic radius means the valence electron is, the furthest from the nuclei, making it easier to do whatever you want. Does that help you with your sentencing?
Yeah.
Okay, don't erase this one. Just retype or something. Are you comfortable typing?
Okay, I'll type it instead.
Okay, type it. So you compare this new sentence with the old sentence, see whether that helps you or not. Okay, Kirana. Kirana, you can do the discriminant first. You can do the Desmos first. Usually discriminant is a bad. Don't erase it now. Yeah, okay, never mind. Okay, never mind. Do the discriminant first because there's a math, and then after a while you gotta switch to Desmos lah, right? Why do we do discriminant? Because that's just how AMAT do lah. And that's how we deal with moving graph, right? Discriminant. AMAT. Great. You're doing good stuff. Right? Equal to 0. Great. Cos good. I'm sorry. Your discriminant starts here. Right? Sorry. This is the graph. And this is the discriminant. Maybe you can write first. Sorry. I'll let you do what you want. Sorry. Yana, do you know what to do? Again, in AMAT, what do you always do, right? In AMAT, you always do something. What is that? In AMAT, you always do what? If you don't remember, just tell me. In AMAT, you always do what? Again, if you don't know, please tell me.
No.
Discriminant. In AMAT, you always do what? Repeat after me.
Discriminant.
Then please try that. See what happens. Yeah, the sentencing looks much better, Aiden. Feels like that.
Okay.
Let me just check one more time. Yeah. There's really nothing else. It's great. Totally great.
Right, that's good.
Yeah, very good. So you're saying that you haven't touched any electrolysis lah.
I talk about electrolysis is not really a big touch on it, But like about the metal reactivity, you break down some stuff by electrolysis, so I kind of touched a bit.
But nothing in detail, like you know what we did.
Yeah. Oh, you talk about electricity, I remember something. The colors of, because displacement reaction must write color, right? Okay, I know you're going to say my question is weird, but how do you know the color of every single element in the world?
You don't.
And how do I answer the question if I don't know the color of it?
You're talking about the observation you make in electrolysis, right? Is that what you're saying?
In displacement reactions is part of the
Oh, right. Okay. So here's the easiest answer. Here's the easier way to answer that problem lah. That's a problem. So you're either displacing metal or non-metal, keeping it simple lah. Metal ions or non-metal ions, correct? You can
Right.
displace non-metal ions lah, correct?
Okay.
Now, from non-metal ions, you only have to remember the colors of group 7 because those are the colors that are the most important and most varied, which I believe you already know. The color of chlorine gas, the color of bromine, the color of iodine. These 3 colors. You always need to know anyway. If you don't know the colors, you tell me right now lah.
I have a list of them, haven't memorized yet.
Yeah, so you just memorize them, lor. So that's the non-metal, and then that's it. So why do I say that? Because the other non-metals are simply gaseous, lah. Okay, I know there are sulfurs, and sulfurs are yellow, and you don't have to know that at all. It's not a guarantee. Okay, only these 3 you need to know the colors. The rest are basically colorless gases, lah. Oxygens, hydrogens, noble gases. Okay, that's non-metal. Settle. Can?
Okay.
Now for metal, almost all metals are either silvery, silvery gray, almost all lah. Almost all. That's the good news, almost all. So you only memorize the exceptions, and the exceptions you already know. The exceptions are copper and gold. Those are the exceptions. There is no other exceptions. Those are the 2 metals which is not silvery or gray in color.
Oh,
Now, am I answering your question? Is that what you're asking me?
yeah, sort of answering it.
So there are very limited exceptions, is what I'm trying to say. Most things, the colors are very predictable one. That is part of what you learn in chemistry. In chemistry, you always learn generally like that and then exception. Generally like that and then exception. It's always like that.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Are you trying another question, Aiden? Is that what
I'm
you're
going to
doing?
try another one.
Okay. Again, this is from prelim papers, right? From my drive, correct?
Yeah.
Then you should be safe. Now, are you sure that your physics have no problem
Oh,
right now?
physics. I feel like I can revise physics. Okay, but chemistry, the revision got error. So
Are you using that, booklet thingy?
yeah, I use it at my teacher's slides.
Okay. As long as you're using that booklet, I'm happy for now. Kirana, are you stuck?
No.
Okay. Then for e-math, what do you do at this point?
Um,
You're writing something and then I cannot see. Wait a minute. Are you writing something, Kiran? That's why I asked. I thought you were stuck. Okay, Kirana, if you're stuck, I want you to go to page 18 lah and then see something. If you're stuck, come on. Okay, look at page 18. If you want to memorize what I'm telling you right now. At the start, right-hand side, 0. Same thing, right? In question 7. Correct or not?
Yeah.
And then very soon, you do discriminant. Correct or not? Same thing, right? Discriminant. And the discriminant equal to 0 because that's what I teach you. Don't copy this. Isn't that what you did just now also? Make the right-hand side equal to 0 and then go to discriminant. Correct?
Mm.
And then you go because your algebra is good. And then you arrive at this kind of thing. Correct? Isn't this exactly the same as what happened in question 8? Same thing what? If you forget, just compare. You are at this stage right now. Correct or not? You just see
Yes.
your question 8 lah. Correct?
Mm.
And then I keep saying, oh, there's EMAT in AMAT. Now is the time for EMAT to shine. No? And this is what you did, which is totally fine. You did EMAT here, it works for you. And then you go to Desmos.
Mm.
If you want to remember these kind of steps, right? Go ahead. Show me your EMAT, show me some drawing, and then go to Desmos. Okay, good. So far, so good. Aiden, good. All these are
For
good
things
stuff.
that are oxidized, your answer cannot be H and O, right?
Can. Who say cannot? Just come on. The reaction just now, hydrogen plus oxygen. Hydrogen is being oxidized. Oxygen is being reduced. Can. Of course can. Am I making any sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. And there's no limitation on that. Okay, Kirana, am I correct? In EMAT, they teach you if the A, if this guy is minus, it'll be a frowny, not a smiley. Correct or not? They teach you that in EMAT lah.
Mm.
Okay. Also get these two numbers.
I'm supposed to do the quadratic formula first.
Just like question 7, no surprises, right? You're supposed to write it down lah, but after that, press the calculator, program 5 thingy. In fact, I think your AMAT teacher will allow you to skip the formula thingy. In fact, I think lah, right?
Mm.
Hmm. Aiden, are you okay with question B2?
Not that sure. But my assumption is that hydrogen ions conduct electricity.
You know that, yeah, from an aqueous solution, sec 3, you know that it's the ions that are responsible.
Yeah, but H2SO4 also got ion.
It's a neutralization. Oh, come on. Ionic equation. Come on, come on. Oh, come on. You should know this. This is this one. This is this one. This is Ba2 plus OH minus. So there's a lot of ions on the left-hand side. Nobody will disagree lah. Do you see any ions on the right-hand side?
No.
Does that give you any,
Oh, okay. I think I know.
yeah, something like that?
I don't know how to say it in words, but I know what it means.
Concept first, which is totally great. Now let's see whether you can put it in words lah. I guess that's a challenge lah, yeah, but concept first lah. Give it a try, and I suggest that you type.
Okay.
Now, Kirana, the answer is ugly, right? But let me confirm to you that it's not imaginary, just to confirm. Am I correct? Because the calculator will tell you if it's imaginary.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not imaginary, yeah? There's no I. So just an ugly number, which you're not comfortable at all. Okay, I'm also not very comfortable with this, but I think you did it correctly. Now, before we go to Desmos, at this point, this is the point where I ask you to go to Desmos. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Before you go to Desmos, check your answer key first. Are these ugly numbers correct or not? The answer key will at least tell you whether
I
the
don't have
numbers
answer
are.
key.
You don't have answer key for your textbook, really?
Like, I didn't bring my textbook. This is online. Like,
The online one don't have answer key.
picture of it.
You don't have a really?
I took picture of it.
Okay. Then Desmos will prove its worth to you. You are right, Desmos can also check the number. But this time, you must type low because the numbers are very ugly. You cannot use the slider. Does it make sense? Okay, go ahead. Desmos, check the number first, and then finally do the big small one. Okay, hold up a little bit, Hold up a little bit, just a little bit more, and then you can stop already. Uh-oh. Right, so Aiden, your answer kind of makes the examiner uncertain.
Oh.
Because you decided to focus on hydrogen ions only. Now, obviously, hydrogen ions do conduct electricity, but you're saying that all the other ions do not. It's almost as if you're saying that. Then that gives the examiner a real problem. Do I give this guy 2 marks or not? Again, tell me, SO42 minus conduct electricity or not, according to you lah?
It does.
It does. Ba2 plus, it does. OH minus, it does.
But hydrox.
Basically, just remember this: every ion helps you conduct electricity. Like really, that's the case. I mean, instead of mentioning, just say fewer ions, though. Fewer ions or fewer aqueous ions. That should be enough. That kind of actually explains your concept. If your concept is every ion conducts, lah.
Oh.
Yes, Kirana.
What if the Desmos, like because I put the inequality, that one, then the line is
Show me. Okay, good question. Yeah, I wouldn't give the example, Aiden, but that's up to you lah. But at least this one, there's nothing wrong already. It's fine lah. That's fine.
Yeah.
The sentencing itself is great. This is a proof that your concept is strong enough lah, right? No. Kirana, don't screenshot. Okay, in a moving graph, you cannot screenshot one. No, just show me. Just screen share. Sorry, screen share. Just screen share. Frankly speaking, Aiden, for these few topics, you are okay. Partially because the topic itself are not that confusing because you already get all the essential skills. I hope I've shown you this lah. Redox number simply settles everything. Like it's just talk like that one. Okay. The topic is supposed to be this simple. That's why it was very annoying when the previous concept comes in because they don't help at all. It's not your fault, okay? It's not your fault. It's just like that. Okay, so you gotta type, right? 593, right? 8, okay, 843, right? 43. Okay, Aiden, if you want to move on to another topic or another subject, I'm totally fine. If you want to stick with this one, I'm also totally fine.
Yeah, now I don't know what to do.
Then either do electrolysis. We're moving ahead of the class. Always important. Either do that electrolysis question or move forward in physical. Either one. Move
Okay.
forward in chemistry, move on in physics, or move forward in AMath. Either one, that's what we have to do.
Yeah, I'll read the physics. I'll read my physics slides.
Sure. Check, put some questions for us to talk, right? So 593 doesn't seem to work very well, right? Kirana, it's a bit weird, right? Okay, I'm gonna check first. I'm gonna check. Just make sure that you get all things correct. You do get that one correct. Okay. Okay, tell you what, Kirana. I'm gonna check for you. It's time for you to rest for now. Anyway, right? Kirana? Take a rest, have dinner, freshen yourself, and then yes.
I don't know if I should have tuition like later because I got my Chinese WA tomorrow.
I understand, and you need to study them, right?
Yeah.
For now, go and study them lah. Okay, that settles it lah. Okay, I'll just check your working later and I'll tell you if there's anything you need to correct. But let's forget math for now lah. Okay, but next week, don't forget what I teach you, okay? Don't forget, okay? Okay, promise.
Yeah.
Try to refer to this one. All right, okay, Kirana, I'll see you. If not this week, I'll see you next week. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Okay, you choose to practice connected rate of change.
I guess.
Now, look at this question for a while. Don't do it first. My promise to you was this, either Pythagoras or mensuration, no exponential, no trigo. Remember that? That's my promise lah.
Yeah.
Correct? Look at this question. Does this question look like either Pythagoras or mensuration?
It looks like, yeah.
Okay, so let's see whether my promise really works, as in you just have to worry about mensuration here, and looks like it's just a triangle and a rectangle. Looks like it lah. Correct or not?
Yeah.
Let's see. So show that the area of figure is A. Now for A, it is most likely, well, I cannot say that lah. You probably need basic trigo lah, right? So let's see lah. Can you do A or not? Because B will be very easy once you get A. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you something. You're a bit OCD, right?
A bit.
Yeah, does your OCD trigger when I tell you this? Yo, skip A, do B first, then come back to A. In exam, you do that. Does that trigger your OCD?
It doesn't really trigger my OCD.
It definitely trigger your OCD.
No, it not really triggers it.
Oh, doesn't. Good, good, good. Then, you know what? Do B first. You'll be happy. And then do A. This is exam skill. This is not a soft advice. It is a really strong advice that I advise everybody to do because it increases people's morale when that happens.
But when I do A, I will find what is Y.
You don't need that. I'm serious. There's a reason why they tell you in A, show that the area figure is given by this one, this one, this one. If you think you need Y, you're already wrong. You're absolutely already totally wrong already. You don't understand that the question maker is giving you so many hints. You don't need Y. You do need A and X. That's why in part A, show this is it because why they are telling you that you're gonna need this in B. They just never say. Look, let's not debate. Just prove it. You do B first. I guarantee you, A will totally help you. You'll score the 3 marks very easily. Because that's just how the examiner makes question. They're trying to help you. You're doing what I told you, the connecting equation, good. And you discover you need the ADX, right?
Or just differentiate the A lah.
Correct. Okay, you should come to expect this in exam every time, like, oh, that top guy will benefit me on the bottom one. Oh, yeah, yeah. Let's just do that. Your 3 marks is coming soon, right?
It's not that hard leh, actually. That's very nice.
Well, even though it's a medium difficulty question, it's not the hardest one, but it is supposed to feel like this. Prop questions are supposed to feel kind of relaxing. You view them as very stressful. They are not. I promise you they are not. They are in general more like a bonus question. Like seriously, for 6 marks like this, I mean, it's not hard, it's not for 6 marks. This one for 3 marks already very relaxing one. Correct or not?
Yeah, it's quite easy.
Which is nice to feel in exam. It's nice to feel relaxed in exam, especially something stressful like AMAT. This is a relaxing topic. Yeah. I want you to feel like that. I want you to be convinced that it is like that. Your unit is correct, You're the kind of guy, if you're very stressed, you cannot perform maximum one.
Yeah.
You know this is true. That's why I always advocate, exam skills that makes you more relaxed. Doing B first is a very relaxing exam skill. Doing B kind of makes you feel, oh yeah, man, this is, yeah. I mean, I'm getting it, man. I'm doing it, which is a very nice feeling to have like in exam.
Mm.
So now let's see whether that relaxation helps you with A, right? By right, it should. I'm gonna share my screen and you just ignore it, okay?
Okay.
Are you somehow stuck, Aiden?
I don't know whether I'm stuck or not.
But are you feeling relaxed, so to speak?
Uh, maybe 5 out of 10 for the relax skill.
Not so bad, not so good, yeah? Not so bad, not so good. But this is exam skill, no? To stay reasonably relaxed, lah.
Yeah.
Even when you feel that you are trying to find your way, right? To feel relaxed. But then again, you are already very relaxed now because you have already found your other 3 marks, lah.
Um,
So 6 marks for this, time-wise, definitely worth it lah, time-wise. This is quite standard 6-mark timing. For you to trial and error in part A. In part A, trial and error is always involved. That's the nature of part A. You can never get it directly one time one. That's a very bad expectation to have.
yeah.
Once you accept what are you doing? Oh man, now you just reduce your 3 mark into 1 mark already. What are you doing, man? Your 3 mark just became 2 marks.
Oh,
I didn't come on, man. Stop, do not erase, You always do this mistake. Now, if you don't feel relaxed, yes, I want you to pay attention. Pay attention. You just reduce your 3 mark into 2 mark. First of all, you know that you're supposed to stop here because that's what the question
yeah.
wants. You go, how to say, you go, you smart alike lah. You smart alike. You do too many things, right? Secondly, you need to know why this is wrong because this is more than just this question. This is wrong because what you're doing here is door.
Oh, yeah,
Am I correct?
I never do anything the A.
Correct. That's where you're wrong. You're supposed to door divide by, in this case, 12 lah. So you're supposed to write 1 over 12 here. But what's the point? Let me repeat this. You kena minus 1 mark here, Just saying. It's not the 1 mark that I'm concerned with. It's the fact that you never do 1 over 12 here. That concerns me a lot. That is a mistake that carry over to other things or other questions. A-math student Aiden, do you understand that you're wrong here and you know why?
Yeah, I think I read it as 0. That's why.
Shouldn't do that, okay? Only in 0 you can do this lah. Okay, so 5 mark is a good result, but this mistake is not good at all.
Yeah.
Okay, now other crop question will be slightly harder only. In exam levels, slightly harder. Now, let's talk about exam skill. Is my advice correct or not? Doing B first is better than doing A first. What do you think? Imagine yourself in an exam situation.
I think it could be better because you said A is trial and error.
Yes, you must expect that. But morale will drop. If you try error 2 or 3 times, you don't find it. Morale will drop 1. Okay, keep your morale high by doing B first because you feel that, oh, at least I secure 3 marks, which is your right lah. And by the way, part B is the easier part, not part A, surprisingly. And
Yeah.
that's why you should do the easier one first in general for exams like A-math. Even though the easier one is easy, it is never that easy anyway lah. Right? So keep your morale high lah, that way. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, that's exam skill, okay? That is not because I think Aiden is not very smart or I think Aiden not very experienced yet. I advise him so that he doesn't feel very bad. That is not the reason, Aiden. I do this in exam every time. I do this. Okay? You should also. Okay, maybe one more question if you want.
Okay, I find
There's only one crop question per paper. So if you want, you have to go to another paper. But any differentiation question will be great also. Okay. You want to talk about binomial. Okay. Binomial, part of the next exam.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see your binomial. My first time seeing you binomial. If you have a lack of skill, I will know immediately lah. So you do what you know. Hmm, what are you doing here, Aiden? Okay, Aiden, I'm going to stop you for a while. You certainly feel that this is already not worth 3 marks, right?
Yeah, but it seems easy because I know how to go all the way to the end.
Hmm, I'm a bit worried though, but because if you go until, oh well, if you go until the end, you'll find your answer lah. That's fair. That's a long, long way though. But I'm not complaining. You do what you want. But
So should I skip the question in the exam, is it?
no. There's an no. I mean that your methods can be improved. Your methods can, even though your method, this one I think will be correct. Okay, never mind. We just finish first, then I'll show you the better method. At least, let's confirm that you can actually do this. You try first. You try first. What the? Hey, wait, what? Well,
Well, I think your shorter method is trying to find like what term the thing is.
I'm sorry, Aiden. What did you say? Sorry.
Is the shorter method you're talking about trying to find like what term, like what expression?
Immediately, yeah,
Yeah.
immediately, because you're going through a very long way, which shows that your basic skills are good lah. So I guess that's good. Now, what are you going to do after this? I at least want to know lah. I at least want to know.
What's the meaning of constant term?
Oh dang. Oh come on.
A
Don't
constant
tell me
means
that
got
you got
no x,
lucky. Really? Yeah. No. Yeah. No x. No x. No x. No x. But it is better understood as x power 0. That's better understood lah.
Um,
Oh, come on. You make a mistake, not like this.
no x, what? 84k cube no x.
Oh, come on. I'm telling you a mistake because we are running out of time. So, okay, right. Okay, continue. This one should be easy.
Oh, it's a negative sign. Like,
Yes, there's a negative sign. The negative sign should be included. Okay, that was, yeah. Okay, anyway, basic skill there, definitely. Come, find your K, please. Yeah, press back. Okay, 17, right? Is it?
yeah, okay, 17.
So let me
Okay.
give you I mean, obviously your basic skill are there. The minus is an unfortunate mistake, yeah. It's an unfortunate. I'm sorry, 7. Yeah, my mistake was 7, right? Yours, if like this, then it's very good for B3 if you want AMAT B3. But for A1 AMAT, you will run out of time one if your skill at this level. Cannot. And binomial is a source of a lot of marks. So if it can be done as short as possible, plus you're correct, that gives you a lot of time for other questions, which
I
is
know the
always,
simple route, but I
time
don't
is
know how
always
to.
short supply in AMAT, right?
Yeah.
Now, if you're happy with B3 in AMAT, there is nothing you need to change beside the minus. Okay, enough. Your basic skills are great. If you can do part B, binomial is yours. Okay, 6 marks, 7 marks, or 8 marks. If you are going after A1, your skill level needs to improve because of the time constraint. Now, what do you want, Aiden? At least you tell me.
Obviously, I want the A1 method, but this one also gets the correct answer. But I
But
know the
B3
other method is to find what term it is, but I don't know how to do that one like consistently correct.
But
I
if
how
you
to-
do that consistently correct, you are helping yourself towards A1. Again, the stakes are like that one, B3 or A1. Or rather better than B3 it may be A2, it may be A1. I'm not joking when I say time is a big problem in AMAT. It's a very big problem.
Oh.
Your skills are good enough for B3, not good enough for A. Do you want to try for above B3 or B3 is enough?
Yeah,
Let me repeat this one more time. It is not good enough for you to do this method very fast. Why? Because if you rush, you will commit errors. If you try to rush this method, thinking that this method always works, true but once you do that, you will expose yourself to error, which is worse.
Oh, okay, then
You cannot just simply rush AMAT. You're underestimating AMAT. Just put it that way. Nobody who get A1 for AMAT does it with rushing. Those people who rush gets B3 or worse. Because even though they finish it faster, they also make more mistakes. What's the point? You don't understand AMAT exam. AMAT exam is meant to be done in the... AMAT exam rewards you for better methods. Better method. Let's just put it that way. If your method is better, you can score A1 much easily because of the time constraints. That's how they design AMAT questions. That's how they value your method. I am not joking. I really mean that is correct. That's the fact. Okay. So again, back to you. Do you want to?
yeah,
What
we
do
can
you
do
want?
that more.
What do
We
you
can
want?
do the more complicated method.
No, wrong. The simpler method. That's where you're wrong also. Now let me show you.
Faster, I mean.
Uh, no, it's faster because it's simpler. Now let's see whether I can convince you that it is simpler Let's see right? Oh, you miss one step. Okay. The reason is because you miss a step. That's the reason. They call the general formula method Okay, you miss one step here. And that step is the key. This step should look like this. Okay, this is the step, the general formula step, whatever This is the step that if you write this, you can immediately do the simpler route. Now, are you okay with this step first?
Let me try to understand that step. Yeah, okay, understand.
Okay. Now, after this step, this is what I teach my student, immediately split it to 2. Now, once you do this, you do this in around 10 to 15 seconds. And that's why I say to certain student, it becomes very simple. Now, what do you split it? You split it to the coefficient and you split it to the x power only. Now, what do I mean by the split? I just do this R, right? And then this one should be minus k r log. And then this one should be, sorry, wrong. X9 minus R, and then this one minus X power to R. Okay, I'm splitting it to the coefficient only and to the X power only. Am I making any sense?
Sort of.
This method, I teach my student, always do this. It always works. This is like me saying the redox method always works. I don't care that there's another method. This method always works, and it is, how do I say, fast and simple. If you're used to it. Again, this is around 15 seconds of work, 15 seconds, which is short. Now, immediately, because I know I'm aiming for x0, correct? I immediately set this equal to 0. Using my in this method, 0 equals to 9 minus r. Oh, I forgot the minus. What am I talking about? The minus that doesn't need to be there. Sorry, the minus is there already. Plus 2r. Oh, my mistake. This is minus, so this is minus. There you go. So 0 equals to 9 minus 3r, therefore r equals to 3. Can?
Okay.
Okay, now once you do that, that's around, I don't know, 10 seconds, and then you're supposed to do this, then I'm supposed to switch immediately to the coefficient side. Remember, back then I told you, always do the split. I tell all my students, it's because you will use one side, and then you'll immediately move to the other side one. Immediately. So I'm moving that immediately after finding R. I tell all my students, once you find R, everything is simple. 9,3 minus k power 3 equals to minus 28812. Now I'm asking you to find k here. Please do that.
Nine choose 3. Oh, it's the same thing. It's minus 84. Okay,
Correct. As promised, you arrive at the answer. I will argue in a shorter way and hopefully less human error way. That is the best thing about this method. This method should reduce human error because binomial human error is the biggest problem. Second problem is time. This method kind of solves both. Kind of.
We're just asking for this line here, right? Is it you just remove all the x and just left with the k?
Correct. No, not left with the k, left with everything else. So you're right to say that easier to do this one first, just do this one first, and then the rest put here. You will be using both of them guaranteed anyway.
So if I invert it, then x squared is on top and then k is at the bottom, then this one will be 1 over.
Hey, don't invert. Wrong. Don't invert. No
I
need
mean,
to
like
invert.
if the question is that way,
Oh, then your 1 over k is here, it's still 1 over k, right? Still 1 over k,
yeah,
and this is still plus, right? And I guess you can do that. Yes, you're right.
Okay.
Right, but always split because it will always be useful. This is like the best thing about binomial question. It's too predictable already. Again, if you do the basic method, time and human error will be your enemy. But if you do this method slightly more advanced, you will find that it is very relaxing. Again, that's why I suggest certain methods, because in the end, it's very relaxing one. Oh, just found it. Oh, just found it. Oh, done already. Something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
We should practice more this method, but for today, let's stop here and I will see you tomorrow. Now, tell me, tomorrow, what shall we study?
Tomorrow, I'll think about it. I will see what I want tomorrow.
Then, if possible, please include some binomial tomorrow. I want to see you do this, slightly more advanced method. Okay? Okay. I'll see you tomorrow then. Bye-bye then.
Bye.